Okay, so we have an Acer Aspire 3680 that we had dropped off to us that has an apparent DC jack problem. So what we're going to do is take this apart and put a DC jack in it. But if we're lucky, which I think we are with this one, it's a 2.5 millimeter. So we may end up doing a modified DC jack like we do on a great majority of ours. So if that's the case, we're going to actually display and show how we do the modified jack extension on this. So that's what we're going to do here in a second. But we got to take it apart first, and we don't need to videotape all that. So now we're going to break it down. Okay, so now we've got our laptop disassembled, and we see that this is actually a power board that goes across to here, and we can see that the jack is not a jack that's going to be re-soldered in or re-applied to the board. It's actually shattered out, which is common, but isn't as common with these as it would be. And this is your standard 5-pin jack. So what it has is 5 placeholders on the board to where it attaches. One here, one here, one here, then the 2 side mounts. So again, my camera got a little wobbly there. One right there, one right there, and one right there, along with the 2 on the sides. So what we're going to do is actually take this board out, and this would be a prime candidate for the reapplied jack style that we're going to do. So I'm going to see if I have any on hand, and we'll actually harness this one in and see what we can do. But I'm going to have to take this board out to get to it and do it, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so we've desoldered our jack. As we always do, we're using a hot air gun for this one. So now we're going to see about putting our modified jack on. And our modified jack is 2.5 millimeter with a wire harness on it. We may take these cables and clean them up, but most likely all we need to do is shield those, and then we'll take a 2.5 millimeter extension for the jack and replace the standard 1.65 millimeter extension with that. So we're going to modify the power adapter and modify the jack and place it into the system. Now, one thing that we've noticed that we've run into with this is our lock nut is missing. So I'm going to have to look for the lock nut, see if I can't find it. But most likely I can find the lock nut, and we'll be able to place this in the system and lock it out. If not, I'm going to have to go find the locking washer somewhere else to make this work. But most likely I can make it work today. I just think that I've misplaced it. So that's what we're going to do next, and place it into the system and tidy everything up and see what happens. Okay, so we have our DC jack here, and we have our old DC jack. Power board's plugged in. Everything's connected to the motherboard, and we modified our AC adapter here. So what we're going to do is plug this in like so, hit the power button, we get a green light, we have fans, so we know our board's running, it's got power, everything's initializing here. So as far as our test for power, we know that our modified jack is working. So what we're going to do is actually place it in the case there and go from there as far as getting everything set up to be mounted and put back together. So that's our next objective. That's what we're going to do. So we're we're going to set that all up here in a minute. Okay, so we have our laptop plugged in, and we see that we have a battery charge light on, and we have our jack plugged into the side. So what we're going to do is turn it on, and we get power, and we're just going to wait for the screen to come up. So we have initialization, and we're going to see if it goes into Windows. So around our port over here, we have a little bit of rising there. We actually have the screen up right there, but the jack still looks good. We're going to have to get our bolt to screw it down, but we have our battery charging. We have Windows starting up. Let's see if we actually get into Windows. And we do. We just actually had it starting up just a second ago. And we have our screen there. So we have it up and running. So we'll just see if old Kimmy Confusion here enjoys this. We still have to find our lock washer for the side, but besides that, we're ready, set, go. We're done. So what we're going to do is run and see if we can't find a washer to fit it, and we'll call it done. So that's an actually complete system right there, and we're finished with it.